Welcome back to the aftermath of Aston Villa 4, West Ham United 1. The longer kind of match reactions that I usually do. Obviously, if you want to check out my match reaction already, I uploaded it yesterday. And yeah, I'm on the road to 200 subscribers, as some of you may know. 5 away. That could go down or up. But please subscribe, because I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers as soon as possible. And make sure to like the video if you enjoy. There's quite a bit to talk about, I think. We'll see how long this is. Oh, God. I think everyone knew that we was going to set up with the same team. And we couldn't really say much about that, despite us wanting Kudus to start, I know, maybe instead of Antonio. But would Kudus play up front? Would Bowen play up front? I know Bowen up front and Kudus on the right has been suggested. Are we going to get the same goals that we do out of Bowen? Maybe it's because he's more... I know he can play up front, but he is more familiar with playing on the right-hand side. Or maybe will it be like against Freiburg, where he kind of drifted out a bit and he was still produced an assist? I do worry for the lack of presence we have in the box, that obviously apart from Souček. I know Ward-Prowse arrived late into the box against Man City and etc. But it's not enough when it's just coming from the midfielders. I feel like when we were, getting 6th and 7th, we were flooding the box. Even though we weren't an attacking team, when we were creating chances, when we did have the chances, we flooded the box. And I just don't see that. I don't see that that much. And I just think we need better decision making when it comes to crosses. Like, a lot of the crosses coming from Sufa and Emerson are a bit hit and hope. And Emerson's not really a crossing left back anyway. He wants to run with the ball. And that left side is a bit hindered. I know Pakistan and Emerson can link up very well, but it is missing we had a small period of time like Ghent at home where Pakistan, Ben and Emerson were linking up well. I don't think we should put Ben back in, but right now we don't really have much choice to change other than to change it up, and forget this whole 4 midfielder stuff. Just go back to inside forwards or wingers playing where they should be, because it just gives more support for our left back. It just gives more support for our midfielders. I think Pakistan plays well in that position, but if you want to do that, then go 4-3-3, and you're going to have to decide who you want in your 3 midfield. Souček, Ward-Prowse and Alvarez. Alvarez should start, so it'll probably be our Ward-Prowse and Souček, and you got to decide what you want. That's why I think... I know we started well with this Pakistan left, Souček, Ward-Prowse, Alvarez, and it started against Manchester City, and we've done it 5 games in a row now. But I feel like it might hinder us, despite Souček's good performances, and Antonio started off well and drifted off. It's probably going to hinder us because of the loyalty that Moyes shows to these players that have shown that they've shown to him, because they've been good over the years. I feel like that might hinder us a bit still, because we have other players. We can try different things. This is why I didn't rate the transfer window that high, because we still needed a striker. Now, Danny Ings doesn't fit, but he's still getting more minutes than Mubama. So I don't really see what's the point of including Mubama in the first team squad and not playing him. Part of me thinks he'll go out on loan in January to get him first team football. I feel like it's a very West Ham Moyes thing to happen. And I'm not just going at Moyes, but it was very easy for us to get picked out by Aston Villa when, with their formation, they tuck in their advanced midfielders, McGinn and Zaniolo at the time. Diaby drifts out wide, and they're going behind our midfield, pretty much. And it was a big problem whenever Zaniolo got the ball. He was fully outmuscling the likes of Alvarez and Ward-Prowse and whoever was on the right side that was going to approach him. I don't really. Moyes just needs to find a balance. Like, I said this in my match reaction. I don't know why Suchek got a 4-year contract. I know he's played well, but has he earned a 4-year contract, especially at his age? Was that worth it? Because it's not like a thing where you can protect his value, because he's not like some young English guy that you might be able to sell like in a couple years with the whole English tax thing in the transfer market. It's literally like the guy's like 27 or something like that, and you're not going to get much value out of him if you sell him anyway. So it's not gonna. That contract was definitely not to protect his value or anything. But the contract really confused me a lot, and I don't. Why do we always do bad after an international break, like first game? Because everyone has an international break. I don't. It's not an excuse. Like everyone has like the same players, same internationals, like going off to South America and Africa and Asia, etc. And that's something else that I elaborated on in my match reaction. Like, and I know a lot of players had to come back on Tuesday, Wednesday, and it's kind of fucked the way the fixtures are. But everyone has to deal with it. So I don't know why we react badly to that. Yeah, we usually play well against Villa. This is a different Villa side now. I know we faced Emery last season, but that was Emery just still knowing his team. I think we missed an opportunity with Pau Torres. I think he's a good centre back, good on the ball, but he struggled. For what I've seen, he struggles with physicality, and I know Antonio loves the left channel, but maybe he could have pinned himself more on Pau Torres. I think he would have had him for physicality. Whether he would have finished his chance, I don't know. But I just think the way he handled Adam Webster against Brighton, and the way he got the better of Disasi, Colwell, and Thiago Silva in the Chelsea game, that could have been an opportunity. And listen, I love Antonio, but that performance wasn't good enough yesterday, and it wasn't even like we didn't create anything. We did create quite a few chances. We did have the ball like enough to put chances away, and it became a bit of a mess at the end. When we're chasing the game, there's not really a plan B. I've never really seen a plan B under Moyes. Like, apart from that Tottenham 3-3 game, I don't remember many games where we've come back. Maybe Arsenal last year, they kind of bottled that. They kind of gave that to us. But we didn't really change anything for like a plan B. We kind of just switched on. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know many games that refer to us as coming back. Maybe there was a bit of hope after we scored our first goal. I didn't celebrate. I just sat there miserable because I was like, I need to see a second goal before I see anything. And then we give the ball away, and it was unfortunate. Kudus touch, and then they counter attack. We couldn't get Kudus into the game. I think we should just stick him. If you're going to play Paquetá off the left, play him down the middle, and Bowen on the right if you're going to play Antonio. Because Kudus picked up good positions in the middle when we played against Newcastle, so I just think maybe he's made for that. And if you want to keep that left side with Emerson and Paquetá, you can. And then just put Kudus in the middle. I don't see it happening. I just see the same lineup. I don't know whether the quote, I don't know how, like, whether it was misinterpreted or whatever, but when I saw the quote of David Moyes saying, I'm tempted to play start Kudus every game, that's interesting. I don't think anything will change from that. I think he might experiment against Olympiacos in a week, which I forget about, which hopefully we win. I think we will win. We usually somehow get it done in Europe. Us in Europe compared to the Premier League is... Like, we haven't done bad in the Premier League so far, but I'm just saying, us in Europe, we look way more convincing, and I think the styles of other teams just suit us. Especially throughout a couple of seasons that we've been in Europe. But we need to... I don't want to use the term bounce back, because it's such a loose term in football. It gets used a lot. But Aston Villa outplayed us. They outnumbered us. The half press midfield that we do, I don't know how to describe it, where one of them just goes up to close someone down and there's just such a big space up behind. We always seem to get picked out with that because they were destroying our midfield with one pass in between the lines, like from Pau Torres to their attack in the final third. And that seems to be a big problem. That happened a couple of times against Freiburg as well. That's with Alvarez and Ward-Prowse as well. I think when they get a better understanding of each other, that will improve. It is still early days, but my thing is, I don't know why Alvarez would get touch tight, leaving Ward-Prowse as the last man on the counter. As much as Ward-Prowse likes to get involved in tackling, and he's actually not bad off the ball, and he does have energy. He's not fast or strong or tall, so we are going to get hindered a bit. But luckily, you got Alvarez there, who is a destroyer. I don't know why we didn't go back to the 4-1-4-1 formation where we don't have the ball. I think Alvarez did really well just standing in between the two centre backs at the time. I think that was needed against their formation. But I don't know, maybe there was a different game plan for that. I don't really know what the game plan was. We have this bad mentality of, okay, we've conceded now, let's just not concede again. Because I feel like this was a big problem last season where I think a lot of us felt like because we don't take the game to opponents, we can still, because of the attacking quality that we have, put it on them. We can put it on teams. And I think we put it on teams, we might be able to see a slightly unleashed West Ham United, where we get to see our attacking players maybe come to life a bit. But I don't know what the problem is. I think if we don't win against Everton, then it's a big problem. That's a must. It's not like must win in terms of we're going to get relegated or anything, but it's a must win in terms of we need to turn the form around because we've only won once in the last 5, and I know the fixtures are hard. But come on. Like, we bottled that Newcastle game. Like, Newcastle did well to come back, but we had them in the first half. They didn't do anything in the first half. They kept giving the ball away. They were hung over off PSG. There's opportunities like that. To get beat 4-1 is very embarrassing. And coming to the defence now, I've spoken briefly about the fullbacks, and I'll come back to them maybe. But the centre-backs weren't good yesterday. Even Zuma was bad. And that's bad if Zuma's bad. Obviously, Watkins likes to drift out kind of to the left a little bit. Not completely to the left, like on the touchline or anything, but just down the left channel a bit. And that's where he loves, I've seen a lot of centre-backs suffer with that. I saw Saliba suffer it a little bit last season where Arsenal eventually won 3-1. And Watkins will be a problem for a lot of centre-backs with him running in behind because not a lot of strikers running behind in this day and age. There's only him, Vardy, Haaland, and maybe Callum Wilson that running behind. And I'll come in and I'll talk about running in behind a little bit later as well. Zuma is always going to struggle with that because he does have good recovery pace, but at the end of the day, when Watkins has already got an edge on him, he's off, man. He's not like lightning quick Watkins, but he's quick enough. And Zuma's not slow. It just looks very awkward. But as soon as Watkins was in that position to go and shoot, I knew that was going in. Areola should have saved the first one. I'm not going to blame him for the rest of the goals. Because the defending needs to be said a lot. And I was quite worried about Emerson and again against like the Diabys, etc. I didn't think Leon Bailey was going to do that coming on. I actually walked out of the room at that point, but I saw the goal going back into the room. And that leads me on to Naif again. I did... Do you know what it is? The first 50, 60 minutes, I didn't think he was that bad. If I'm being completely honest. But as the game went on and as the goals kept going in, he seemed to just be a bit fragile. And that's what it felt like. And that's what's really been... What is that? It's a different problem from this game because he struggled with the mobility of Leon Bailey, the trickery of Leon Bailey at the time to get the goal off. What my main struggle with was him aerially, where he missed a header against Man City, and he wasn't even having a bad game. He got absolutely rampaged by Dominic Solanke. Adebayo and Morris had their way with him. They could get to Zuma, so they both targeted him in that Luton game. Nicholas Jackson had Zuma and Aged on strings. I'm trying to think. Well, he didn't play against Brighton. And Ogbonna was probably unlucky to not lose his place, but he would, with how Villa counter Ogbonna would have done nothing that game. Again, he's just too old for that. He needs to be just a senior player that sits behind the scenes kind of thing and comes in every now and then. But it's worrying, and I think Mavropanos, I've been saying Mavropanos should start. Never against only real good game, probably against Sheffield United. He gave away the penalty against Liverpool. Very stupid. We can't be giving away penalties like this, which I'll get onto in a sec as well. Paquetá, man. It started so well and then it just dipped. And it was really, really bad. Like, really, really bad. It gave me a headache sometimes, some of the football I was seeing, because we were trying to find, because he has the final ball, like, almost like a final ball trait. That's his thing, as we saw in Prague. And because Villa play high up, Villa play high up and offside trap because they want you to go behind so they can actually trick you, and they've got the recovery pace to catch up, including Ezri Konsa, for example. He's a big part in that. But we fell into their trap, and I don't know why we kept doing it. We had more of a chance just going down the wings and just trying to cut it back, which I don't know why we didn't take more of an advantage of. Then again, I'm not a coach. I'm not a performance analyst. I'm not qualified for that. But I just felt like we would have got more joy down there. I feel like we would have got more joy trying to just cut it back. But that's just my opinion, because they would have sat so deep and been so narrow that surely there would have been a lot of space for our midfield to maybe pick up a goal or two. I'm getting a bit worried about Ward-Prowse and the free kick stuff, because he's not getting it on his favoured side. It feels like this West Ham curse where he might never score a free kick, but he's never got it on the left. I don't think he's got a free kick off the left side yet. Hopefully we see a free kick in a West Ham shirt. I just want that to happen, because he's a good player overall as well. He's not like a set piece merchant, which everyone was saying before he signed. But yeah, I want to see more of that as well. And I forgot what else I was going to talk about. I said I was going to come to later. But in general, it was just a very, very, very bad performance. It was quite obviously the worst of the season, because there was more periods of times against Liverpool and Manchester City where we did play well, but that still wasn't good enough, especially at Anfield. But at Villa Park, yeah, it's a fortress right now, and they've got a good record there, but we had a good record against Villa, so we should have counted on that as well. This is Moyes' first loss at Villa or something like that. They kept going on about it, and we didn't do anything with it. We broke the Brighton bogey thing, and Aston Villa broke it against us. So it kind of cancels out in the end, unfortunately for us. But I think everyone's going to look at us like we've slipped away from like the Brighton, Newcastle, Villa kind of thing. Even though Brighton battered Newcastle and Villa battered Brighton and Newcastle battered Villa, they won't talk about that. But that's the way it is. We've got to take it on the chin and just bounce back from that. We've got to go on a bit of a run. The fixtures are not that bad coming up compared to what we've had, even though we've had 2 promoted teams. But our next 4 games I don't think are that bad. I think it's Everton, Burnley, Forest, and Everton, Burnley, Forest, and someone else, and Wolves. I think those are our next 4 games, including the one after the dreaded 3rd international break. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. This was the aftermath. As I said, make sure to like the video. I'm on the road to 200 subscribers. Please subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.